what are the core three aspects of, or more quantitative aspects of a business situation problem? Well, let's go back to this problem here. We say we want to have profits back at the levels they were before, the year before. How can we do it? Now, we're only gonna be able to think of a solution or recommendation if we understand the products that our company sells, the two different chewing gums. Who are the competitors? Maybe they're doing something better than us and stealing market share. Or maybe they just launched a new product. Customers, who are we selling to? Are we selling to kids at the 9/11 store, or are we selling at older people at the supermarket? So you need to understand those 3 points in order to be better prepared to make a recommendation or conclusion. So I would always start out of those three with customers. They're the reason of being of the company. Money comes from them. Without them, nothing exists. So then you go to the company. What do we produce? What's our cost structure? Which sales channels we use? And last but not least, competitors. You're not the only one in the market, almost never. Out of those three insights, you generate actionable recommendations. So now I'm going to go through a list of important questions you might or should ask the interviewer when you're covering those three pillars. Of course, you're not going to ask all the questions for all the pillars, for all those three aspects. You're going to focus on, like, if you know that the revenue you have a problem with revenues, then you're going to focus more on customers and competitors. If you know the problem is with costs, you're going to focus more in the company. Where in the company, where in this value chain are the costs too high? So you adapt the way you gather information using those three pillars according to what you learned in the first part of the problem, if there was a quantitative part of the problem. How can we segment customers? Old people, young people, women, men, whatever. How big are the segments? What's the market share that we have? Is there a risk of bargaining power? So if you are a farmer, usually the customer is, you're selling like lettuce. Lettuce, they sell it to supermarkets. There's a huge concentration, and the supermarkets say, I want to pay this much. And if they don't sell to me for this price, I'm going to buy from another farmer. So that's one of the Porter five forces in this part of in this aspect, customers. What are their needs? What do they expect from us? Do we understand it? Can we fulfill it? Do they like to buy on the internet? Is it growing after all? Is it profitable? Like, most important question if you want to enter a new segment or a new market. Is it growing or is it dying? Is it attractive? Like, it doesn't, even if we understand and can fulfill the expectations of the customers, if the segment is dying, like CDs or old Kodak cameras, it's not attractive. So going to the second pillar, what's our product? What do we sell? Are there different product lines? Is it a differentiated product, like a computer? Or is it iron? Or anything that's commoditized? Can we cross-sell other products and sell bundles? Is there a substitute threat? So, like old cameras and new digital cameras. It's a good example. If we have a portfolio of products, what does the BCG matrix look like? Do we have a lot of dots, or do we have a lot of stars or cash cows? Important to understand the product. And what about the company? What are our core competencies? What can we do better than anybody else? What should we focus on? What's the distribution channels we use? And how are our cost blocks? Do we have economies of scales? Can we produce cheaper than our competitors? Is there a supply concentration? Again, a porter force. This is an example of a question you're not going to ask every time. Like, do we have assets, patents, or very loyal customers? That's also assets. You're only going to ask that if it makes sense from the first part. Competitors, what's the landscape, competitive landscape? Are they fragmented? Is there a monopoly like Microsoft, or oligopoly like the big four finance, PricewaterhouseCoopers, KPMG, and etc.? Or are there a lot of small competitors? That makes a huge difference. How is the competition structured? Is there a price war? Are they like fighting for the 1% margin? Or how do they behave? Are they like in a cartel way of negotiating with each other or not? Are they doing something better than us? Should we copy something? Is there patents covering their best practices? Do they have a better cost structure than us? Barriers to entry, again one of the forces of Porter. Very important. Do they have a huge production facility that would make us unable to produce that product for a competitive price? Also, regulations, another important force. Like, I cannot sell guns or produce guns in this country because it's not allowed.